Since 2011, American Giant has been making everyday clothing with extraordinary effort. Not in far-off factories, but right here in the USA. We obsess over fabrics, fit, and details, because if you're going to wear it every day, it should feel great and last for years. From the cut of a hoodie to the finishing of a seam, nothing is overlooked. Our supply chain is tight-knit and local, which means less crisscrossing the country and more care in every step. The result is durable clothing, t-shirts, hoodies, sweatpants, and denim that become part of your life season after season. This isn't fast fashion, it's clothing made with purpose by people who care as much about how it's made as how it fits. Get 20% off your first order with code STAPLE20 at American-Giant.com. That's 20% off your first order at American-Giant.com with code STAPLE20.
As a small business owner, have you ever felt overwhelmed by the pressure of choosing the right hire or leading a team? Or have you ever found yourself tolerating a bad hire because you fear trying and failing again as you repeat the hiring process? If so, you're not alone, and you are in the right place. Welcome to the Growing Your Team podcast. The Growing Your Team podcast teaches business owners like you to expand your unique business by teaching you to master the hiring and team management process. Hiring and managing a team does not have to be a challenge. You just have to learn to do it right. And the Growing Your Team podcast teaches you how to become a confident leader who hires right every single time. Now, let's jump into the show where each episode you will learn tips on how to identify what type of help you need on your team, how to source amazing candidates, how to conduct interviews that lead you to your ideal team member, how to onboard successfully, and how to lead every person in your business so you have a team of rock stars who you are happy to pay every single paycheck. So let's jump in and teach you how to hire like a pro. Hello, Jamie Van Kuyk here, and welcome back to the Growing Your Team podcast. Today, we're going to talk a little bit about ChatGPT and other AI writing services that are coming up, going to be popping up, and everything, because let's face it, AI controls a lot of what goes on today, even if it's behind the scenes, and it's going to keep on being present as we go into the future. So if you're not familiar with ChatGPT, it is kind of a AI writing tool, so an artificial intelligence writing tool where you can put in prompts and it will spit back written context, written information based on the parameters and everything that you set, based on what you tell it that you want and what you need. People are using it in a lot of different ways right now. At this point in time, this technology is still only a few months being live to the public and the public's hands. So with any technology that comes out, there's going to be tweaks along the way. There's going to be edits in the back end that make it stronger, better in everything. But what I want to talk about today in particular is using ChatGPT when writing job postings. And a lot of what I am going to share today also ties back to when we talked about in episode 93, when we talked about why you shouldn't use generic job postings. Let's first look at why you would use ChatGPT to write your job posting. You would most likely use this tool because writing a job posting is not your strength. It is something that kind of feels like a chore to you. You don't know what to say. Maybe you don't even really know what the position is, and you just need help. And you look at it and say, hey, here's a tool that I can use that will do it for me. And from that perspective, it sounds great. You put a few prompts in, you say, write a job posting for this title, maybe give it a little bit more information, and it can spit out information that you think you can use to go find your perfect candidates. But why is this not a good thing? Well, the reason is that ChatGPT uses the information that it has access to create what it provides to you. So in order to create that job posting, it's going out and looking at all this information that's available on the internet and spitting out content. But who says that that information that it's finding on the internet is actually right for you? It's right based on what it found, but is it right for you? So you might read that job posting and go, yeah, this is what I want. But is it really? Is it one of those things that sounds good, but if we actually broke it down, it's not your position? So one of the things that I see is this being an issue for is when you're hiring positions that have more generic titles, but this position can mean many different things inside each organization. So for example, look at the title administrative assistant. Look at the title office manager. Those positions can look very different at each organization. And so ChatGPT can go out and create you a job posting for either one of these titles, but it's going to be very generic. It's going to pull things back that maybe you were never thinking of. Maybe these are tasks that don't even take place today in your organization, and you're going to say, yeah, I could have this team member do that. So you're going to include it in your job posting. But then that job that this AI created doesn't actually exist in your organization. So it's super important when you write a job posting that it's for the job that actually exists in your organization, not someone else's, not the generic list of tasks that this job title typically holds. You want it to be the job that is in your company. One of the things you hear me say all the time is just because a person's great at what they do does not mean they're right for you. And when we talk about this, we really break it down to say that someone can have the ability to do the tasks, but it doesn't mean that they're going to fit well in your organization. And kind of this job posting is the same. That job could sound nice, but it doesn't mean that that job actually fits into your organization. So the job posting that you put out there should actually match your job, not some generic job, not some job that is a summary of every job out there that holds this title. It needs to be your job. So let's dive a little bit more into this as we move on. What makes it a job posting that truly reflects what it's like to do this role inside your organization? So part of that is the roles and responsibilities. What will this person be doing day to day? So if you look at any job title out there, go to Indeed or any other job board, you look at job titles, you'll see that while the roles and responsibilities a lot of times are similar, they're never exactly the same because no two companies are set up exactly the same. So there might be variations of the same roles and responsibilities, but there will be differences in those roles and responsibilities from company A to company B. So you need to make sure that it reflects your roles and responsibilities that will be assigned to this position. That's the first thing. The second thing is, how do you define the ideal candidate in terms of fitting into your culture, fitting into your team environment? And that is really where some of the most important things are for that job posting. People, let's say, that are looking for a bookkeeper position, know what the typical roles and responsibilities are as a bookkeeper position, because that's a position where things might change slightly, but they don't change a lot from organization to organization. However, each organization is different. So when you add to your job posting who your ideal candidate is, not just in tasks, but in their work style, their personality, how they fit into your organization, give them clues on what it's like to work in your organization, what it's like to work for you, that's what's really going to help you attract your ideal candidates. When you go out there with a generic job posting that doesn't pull in that uniqueness, it doesn't perform as well. You want a candidate that reads that job posting and is nodding their head along and saying, yes, this is the job for me. Especially right now, when we are in what is really considered a candidate market still. This means that there are more job opportunities than there are candidates looking for opportunities, especially when you're in those highly specialized industries or you're hiring for highly specialized roles. And when there's more opportunities than candidates pick and choose where they're going to apply more critically than if it was a market where there's more candidates than opportunities. So if a candidate is not reading your job posting and saying, this is 100% the job for me, chances are they might not apply. So you really want to make sure that you're doing your job communicating effectively to candidates. And you can't do this with a generic job posting. You really need to determine who is your ideal candidate and then speak directly to that candidate. Could AI eventually get to the point where it can help you write job postings that speak to your ideal candidate? Yes, I'm certain that it will. I just don't think it's there yet. Also, in order for AI to really give you the best job posting that will speak to that ideal candidate, you still need to do all the work to truly identify who your ideal candidate is. And that's sometimes a place where you can get stuck when you're doing it yourself, because it's hard sometimes to pull the ideas out of your own brain. It's hard sometimes to figure out when you're working by yourself what qualities are what you really need versus what qualities you think you need and sound great when you see it in front of you. So that's one of the reasons why it's super important at times to work with someone else, work with an expert to really help you craft who your ideal candidate is, and then help you craft that job posting that's going to speak to your ideal candidate. So once again, while AI is on its way, while AI will most likely get better, it's not there yet. You can use it to produce ideas. So for example, you're like, okay, am I missing anything from what should be in this job posting? You can use a prompt to say, what are the roles and responsibilities of the typical administrative assistant, and see what it spits back to see if it sparks any ideas of things that you're just overlooking because sometimes you're too close to things. But don't depend on it writing your job posting completely yet. If you want to use it, like I said, use it as a tool, but not the full creator of your job posting. Spend time to really make sure your job posting is clearly depicting your opportunity and that it's speaking to your ideal candidates. Don't use generic job postings. Don't speak to generic candidates, because then you will never hire the person who is going to be the ideal fit for your company. You want to have great hires, not a hire that might be who you're looking for. So once again, to wrap up, my recommendation is for you not to use ChatGPT or similar tools to write your job posting. Spend the time to really get the right job posting so you can get the right candidate and that you can be happy paying them every pay period. Are you getting ready to hire and you wrote a job posting for your open position, but now you're left wondering, will it attract the right candidates? Hiring isn't as simple as telling people that you're hiring and having your perfect candidate show up ready to fill the role. Hiring just doesn't work that way, especially in the current market. The best candidates only apply to the positions that appear to be the right fit for them. If they don't find a connection between their job wants and your job posting, they'll skip over and go to the next opportunity. And in many cases, the reality is it's not the job isn't what they're looking for. It's not the job posting just didn't hit the mark. So is your job posting helping candidates see that your opening is right for them, or is it turning candidates away for all the wrong reasons? Let's find out. I am currently offering Will Your Job Posting Attract the Right Candidates audit. Through this audit, I will review your job posting, and I will tell you what's working and what needs to change so you can attract your ideal candidates. So if you want your job posting reviewed by an expert before it goes live, or if you have a job posting that just is not hitting the mark in the current market, sign up for an audit. Let's review it and make the changes needed so you can attract your perfect fit team member. Because remember, you can't hire a candidate who never applies for your job. And most candidates won't apply if they don't feel connected to the job posting. So let's make sure you have a job posting that will attract all the right candidates and help you make this hiring journey easier. Go to growingyourteam.com/audit and sign up for your audit today. Once again, that's growingyourteam.com/audit.